What if I were to tell you that this particular pie chart that you see over there and the principles of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas is the core of Vedic astrology? If you understand this and implement this in all your health related issues, because this Healers Astrology series, in all your predictions, in all your personality analysis, you'll pretty much have nailed Vedic astrology 101. So what am I talking about? Let's just get into it. And if you're listening on my podcast, just see the YouTube playlist and come to this to see this very complicated pie that you see over there, very colorful. Okay, we are talking about three principles which are as per Upanishads and as per not just astrology but Upanishads and Vedas in general. Okay, we are taking the core principles here of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Sattva being standing for even Vishnu, Rajas for Brahma and Tamas for Shiva. It's like the three. There's the three going on everywhere, like all predominant faith systems of the world. What is Sattva? The popular notions I have written there, the popular notions of Sattva are what? Inclined towards pure and noble thoughts, which lead to virtuous and altruistic actions. Rajas is what? Inclined towards a sensual life. Active pursuit of money and passion is of most importance, okay? That can make them arrogant and selfish. Now, Tamas is inclined towards mental or physical inactivity or tamasic inertia, basically, okay? Punctuated by angry or violent disruptive actions. That is Tamas. This is the popular definition. You can Google this and find this all over Wikipedia. You can find it anywhere. The ones which I marked over here, I'm taking the higher meanings of the same things. What are the higher meanings of this? Sattva means evolution, finding higher meanings. We are talking about human being here now. Okay? I'll come to the planets and other things pie chart a bit later. So just bear with me. Evolution of higher meanings, seeking higher meanings, going up. The prana level energy is going up, going towards the higher side, going literally upwards. Rajas is the bridge energy. Rajas is the energy that oscillates, moves between Sattva and Tamas. Okay? So this is the bridge. It seeks higher meanings sometimes, it is grounding some other times. Tamas is literally grounding in structure. It wants only the ground. It wants to physicalize things. It wants to make it concrete. Now, even talking in terms of physics, everybody knows now, even physicians know this. Even in terms of physics, even in terms of states of matter, or frequencies of vibration in electromagnetic spectrum, even in terms of frequencies of that, or in terms of states of matter like solid, liquid and gas, you can translate it to Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, right? Scientists know now, for example, that what we breathe as oxygen is basically superheated metals. Imagine that. Hydrogen, oxygen, all these things are superheated metals. And metals, what we know as metals at room temperature, are super cool liquids. These are all liquids basically. That's why you can liquefy this. You can solidify oxygen. It will become like metallic conductor. These are superheated metals and super cool liquids. The metals. Think of it that way. So everything is alternating states of matter depending upon how much energy level it holds, how much frequency it holds, how much vibration it holds. Everything. The entire Vedas is based on these three principles of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Now, let's get to the planetary point. According to Vedic astrology, now we are talking astrology, Sun, Moon and Jupiter, marked over there in the corner, are Sattva planets. Mercury and Venus over here are Rajasic planets. And Mars, Saturn, Rahu and Ketu are Tamasic planets and points. But we see coming to this pie chart a different form of how this is evolving, and we'll see that in a minute. Now, the fundamental three rules, if you want to evaluate your chart and natal chart, I suggest you do. This is like me giving you an open manual for life. If you can decipher this, you can use this chart itself as a manual for your understanding of health, understanding of, not predictions necessarily, but understanding of who a person is, personality. Number one, the first rule, combination of zodiac and nakshatra. Give the general theme for each rising sign. Now, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas nakshatras marked over there as blue, pink and green. And I have marked the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas using same colors, blue, pink and green, for the rising signs below, which is the inner circle. So I have used the same color coding system for the 1 to 12 rising signs, as well as the outermost belt, which is all the nakshatras, 27 nakshatras. So you can compare and contrast better. For example, let's take the first one. Aries, over here, number 1, has got Rajas. It's a Rajas rising sign. You can see the pink one over there. So, pink one. Rajas, Aries is a Rajas rising sign. However, it has got 2 nakshatras within its belt. One is Tamasic, blue one, which is Ashwini. One is Rajasic, which is Bharani. See there? Let's take another one. Let's take Leo, for example. Ruled by the sun, number 5. It is a Sattvic rising sign. But it looks at a Tamasic nakshatra, which is Magha, and also a Rajasic nakshatra, which is Purva Falguni. Let's take another one, for example. Let's take Scorpio. The rising sign of Scorpio is Tamasic in nature, number 8. We are looking at number 8 over here. Okay. It looks at a Tamasic nakshatra of Anuradha, and it looks at Sattvic nakshatra of Jyeshtha. You see that? So it becomes very different when you evaluate it from this perspective. Not all is as it seems, folks. You have to uncover this puzzle, and this is like the code wheel of unlocking the Vedic astrology puzzle. I'm just sharing it to you free. I should have charged about $5,000 for this chart, but anyway. So the combination of zodiac and the nakshatra has to be taken. For example, if you take Libra here, Libra is Rajasic, combination of that, along with its nakshatras, which is half of Chitra, then Swati, and then Vishakha. 3 nakshatras are there. It's the first 2, Chitra and Hasta, being Tamasic, the last one, Vishakha, being Sattvic. So you got to see how to evaluate. This is the themes of life. Remember, nakshatra itself or zodiac itself forms a theme. Now we get to the planets. The type of planet, the number 2 point there, type of planet sitting in each sign gives it that kind of energy to that house. For example, if sun sits here, if sun is sitting here, it will provide that kind of energy. Sun becomes in number 5 a Sattvic sign as far as zodiac is concerned, but in Purva Falguni it becomes Venus kind of energy. It becomes more Rajasic. It wants more desires, because the outermost belt of nakshatras, you have to understand this very clearly, is about mind. That's why they are called lunar mansions. Mind stands for manas in Sanskrit. Manas means the mind, that part of our mind that is sensibility, that is more prone to emotional evaluation, that is more prone to desires of all kinds, feelings, basically an emotional body. Okay. So that's the outermost belt you are seeing. The nakshatra is nothing but that. It's pertaining to Manas, or it's the lunar mansion. The inner belt of zodiacs is the houses of the sun. The 12 houses are the houses of the sun. The 27 houses are the houses of the moon. The 2 luminaries we are determined by. Our entire life stands upon this. Number 3, the funny thing you have to notice here is the nakshatra system considers Mercury and Jupiter as Sattvic. Jupiter is Sattvic even in the planet, as you can see there, but Mercury in nakshatra system becomes Sattvic. You can see there. For example, Punarvasu nakshatra is Sattvic. Ashlesha nakshatra ruled by Mercury is Sattvic. Then Vishakha nakshatra ruled by Jupiter is Sattvic. Okay, over there. Jupiter, of course, becomes Sattvic, we know that, and the planetary, but Mercury becomes Sattvic here. Although, when it comes to the the zodiac system, Mercury becomes Rajasic. Okay, so that's one distinction. Sun and Moon are considered Rajasic in Nakshatra system, the mind. When it comes to the mind, whenever I'm talking Nakshatra, think the mind. Whenever I'm coming to the zodiac, think the heart and the soul, the sun of the soul. Okay, so that's what it comes down to. So Sun and Moon considered Rajasic. Why? You can see there. Kritika is ruled by the Sun, is Rajasic. Then Uttara Falguni, ruled by the Sun, is also Rajasic. There are 3 for every planet, as you know. Then Uttara Bhadrapada, no, this is Uttara Ashada, sorry. Uttara Bhadrapada is there in the 12th sign. Uttara Ashada is also ruled by Sun, which is again Rajasic. Sun becomes Rajasic over here, right? And so does Moon. You can see the Moon Nakshatras. Moon Nakshatras are Rohini, Hasta. Where is the Hasta gone? There, the Hasta, the hand. And it also rules Shravana. All 3 are Rajasic, as you can see. One falls in the sign of Taurus, one falls in the sign of Virgo, and one falls in the sign of Sagittarius. Okay? Sorry, Capricorn. So, Sun and Moon, although they are Sattvic in the zodiac system, they become Rajasic in the Nakshatra, to conclude. And Mercury, although Rajasic in the zodiac system, becomes Sattvic in the Nakshatra system. That's the slight deviation. Rest all the Tamas Nakshatras, the planets remain the same. Like the Mercury, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, they are Tamasic, doesn't matter where they sit. All the blue Nakshatras are all ruled by Tamasic planets, as you can see. Ashwini ruled by Ketu, Brigshira ruled by Mars, and Ardha ruled by Rahu, and then Magha ruled by Ketu. Right? You can keep going on and on like that. Which is the other Tamas one? Yeah. Chitra ruled by Mars, Swati ruled by Rahu, and so on and so forth. So, rest of them stand the same between zodiac and this. Now, why is this crucial? Let me just wrap this up here. Because we can endlessly analyze all this, but this is very helpful as a part of healer's astrology. The reason being, for healing, you need to know where the tendency of the mind is, tendency of the body is. Because these two are going always hand in hand. This is a holistic science. Vedic astrology, Veda is a holistic science. It's not one thing to the exclusion of others. It's all of them acting in tandem, collectively, all at the same time. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas is in everything in the universe. Human body, obviously. Or mind and emotions, obviously. So the soul comes to play out in all these forms. So unless you take these things into consideration and where the planets are sitting, in which nakshatra, in which zodiac, and put this together in the last 10 parts that I have discussed before. So, and then put this in that context, and now you have a picture forming of how to use this astrology healing series for you, okay? Take care. If you're listening on the podcast, listen to the YouTube. Please share, subscribe, and share this channel if for other healers, if at all you find this information useful. Try checking out a chart first before you buy anything from me. Check out your chart, and if this makes sense, you're nailed it. Okay? Take care, be safe. Have a good day.